章节。
In a simple way, juvenile delinquency is when a child or a young person commits an offense. Is when a child or a young person commits an offense, or you can say juvenile delinquency are the offenses committed by juveniles, are the offenses committed by children or young persons below the age of 18. Juvenile delinquency are the offenses committed by children or young people who are below the age of 18. For example, smoking, drinking alcohol, absenting oneself from home or running away from home, running away from school, engaging in sexual acts. Now, all those things, they are offenses whenever a child or a young person does them. Whenever a child or a young person commits them, they are offenses. But when an adult or somebody that is from 18 years above can do any of those acts that I listed, it's not an offense. It is only it's only when a juvenile, when a young person or a child do all those kind of all those acts, that's actually when we say, okay, and this child has committed an offense under juvenile justice system. So you can see the examples there. Smoking, that's why when you look at cigarette, you see that they wrote 18 and they wrote they marked it cancel, like a cancel sign. It means somebody who is below the age of 18 must not smoke. It's actually an offense, it's a crime. But an adult can smoke. So smoking is an example of juvenile delinquency. Drinking alcohol is a juvenile delinquency. That's why you see in almost every alcohol they will write not for persons below the age of 18. It means when a young person engages in alcohol, now it's an offense under their own law, under juvenile law. So absenting oneself from home, running away from home, or running away from school, truancy, that's actually what it is. All those things are examples of juvenile delinquency. And juvenile, you can call it juvenile, you can call it delinquency, or you can call it juvenile delinquency. The two words are the same thing. Anyone you see in exam, they can say juvenile delinquency or delinquency. Both of them are the same thing. Both of them are the same thing. So that's actually what juvenile delinquency means. It's when a child or a young person below the age of 18 commits an offense. For example, smoking, drinking, engaging in sex, running away from home, running away from school, being stubborn to parents, and different kind of children stubbornness. So that's actually what juvenile delinquency means. And this juvenile delinquency are the things that juvenile justice handles. That's the thing. It's the opposite of crime. In criminal justice system, which is for adults, when an adult commits an offense, we call it crime. But in juvenile justice system, when a child, a young person below the age of 18 commits an offense or a crime, we call it juvenile delinquency. Even if the juvenile act is a serious act, like rape or like rape or cultism, it is still it's still delinquency. It is still juvenile delinquency, even though it's serious. But because a young person committed it, so we have to call it juvenile delinquency. Because in juvenile delinquency, we have serious offenses, we have less serious offenses, and we have serious offenses. The serious offenses are when they commit crime. The less serious offenses are small acts like these ones I mentioned: smoking, drinking, absenting oneself from school, truancy, and different kind of this thing. So all of them are still under juvenile delinquency because they are committed by young people. So that's actually what juvenile delinquency is all about. My name is David Marshall, and this is 3CS.